movie month. You know what that means. It's the voodoo, get it? It's the orange flavor. We're covering Dark State decks all month. Still set 11 though. Even Paul came out way too fast to finish out all my Clash of Heroes videos on time. If you do want to see some set 12 stuff though, make sure you're subscribed. I'll get around to that pretty soon. Anyways, back to darkness we go. Okay, maybe not quite like that. Light disclaimer before we get started, this is actually one of the only deck profiles I brought to you that hasn't been tested at one of my many locals yet. I usually bring this bad boy with me and have my opponent choose from one of the 3 decks that I put in here. And somehow Kheios has dodged the bullet every single time for about a month now. Still got in plenty of test games with it though, so we're not completely in the dark here. No, not again! Using my custom playmat for a video has never felt so appropriate. So, of course, to get started, we gotta start off with the starter and the rest of the red line. And this time, it actually does matter for the name because of one of the orders that we're playing this deck. But we'll get to that in a little bit. All these guys activate when rotated upon by the next one. So, when the SP is run over by the hollow, you're gonna be able to reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. And if they happen to be non-trigger units, they go right to soul. This is a great way to soul charge to get your count going, because of course that is the theme of this deck, is having different name cards in your soul. If you don't see anything off there though, it does go to bottom deck, so you are filtering triggers, which kind of sucks. On this next evolution, the Quagmire, when he's ridden on by the big boy, you get the soul charge again. This time if you hit a normal unit, you can call 1 card out of your soul, and if you see a trigger, you get to draw a card. So either way, you do get the plus off it. It's just a little bit nicer if you get the free call than the draw, because losing trigger sucks once again, but I mean, what are you going to do? You do want to put a lot of cards in your soul. That being said, if you do get unlucky and hit an order, sucks to be you. You get nothing off that. As far as the finale of the right line goes, he's more of an enabler, less of a leader if you think about it that way. So 2 skills. The first one's going to be able to counterblast 1, discard a card from your hand. You look at your top 3, add 1 to your hand, call up to 1 to the field, and the other one goes to the soul. Note that I said up to 1 goes to the field. You can't soul charge 2 off this effect, which sometimes you want to do just to get the count going. Because for his main skill, like I keep on saying, your numbers matter. When it attacks, if your soul's got 8 or more, choose 1 of your rear guards, give it plus 10. And if you have 13 or more, you get to choose every rear guard instead. So you can be giving your whole field a plus 10, not including Vanguard. Not bad, but like I said, he is more an enabler, so he doesn't work on his own. You do need a lot of field presence in this deck. That said, of course, this is a new profile, so let's talk about the new card, and that is his new form, the Kheios of Kheios, Batman. He's probably got Batman. Hey, look, the stakes are there. Soul Horatio Kheios. Much like the other glitter evolutions, he has a skill that lets you pseudo persona ride. So you ride him over normal Kheios. You get the soul charge 3, then you put a card from your soul into your hand, and call 2 cards out. Note these are up to, and the soul charge is an option because it's May. So if you're already looking at a chunky soul and worried about decking out, don't worry about it. You can literally just ride, call 2 out of soul, add 1 to your hand if you're soul golden. That is an option. However, of course, it does help to get you soul if you want it. So go ahead, you play soul charge the deck. Spoiler's best friends. Then after you do all this good stuff, you get to activate your persona ride. So draw 1 card, front row gets plus 10, you know the drill. However, the goodness doesn't stop there, because he also has the activate skill, in that once per turn, if your soul has 13 or more, just like, you know, your best friend does, you get to remove the OG, and suddenly everything on your field is gonna get plus 10 till the turn. Then at the end of the turn, and you do that and rewriting from the mind zone or whatever, I don't know. Oh yeah, and I guess he also gets a crit. You should pay attention to that. This is what makes the deck insane, because not only are you going to get a persona ride, it's plus 10 front row already, but you're also getting a plus 10 to everything. So not counting like your plus 10 rear guards in the back row now, he's going to essentially say your front row is plus 20. By the way, I've got a crit. Not bad, considering this is a 5 attack deck. Alright, so moving on to what makes this deck viable. This card is literally the nuts. And it's got a little twin brother that's like more expensive because this is playable in every brand deck and every Dark State deck. It's got one of those cool little dual clan things. This, I don't know why, it's like 20, 30, 10 bajillion dollars because it's playable in everything. So the main Mikane, he has 2 different skills. The first one, you're not always going to use, just CB1, Soul Blast 1, retire a guy that matches the grade of what you Soul Blasted. It's cute removal, but this deck is already going to be counter-blasting a lot, so you're not always going to use that skill, and you do want to keep the soul, so you're not always going to be using that soul. Still good that you got the option though. What's more important is his glitter skill, and that is, if your Vanguard is a Kheios, and you have 8 or more different name cards in soul, when your Kheios attacks, him does a restand. This is how you get your 5 attacks return, because you go, yo, what up, swing, swing, swing with Vanguard. You get back up, swing, swing. Oh, and by the way, they also go head back in the soul at the end of turn. So you can't kill them. They're spies, I guess. I don't know. He's a spy, right? What makes him more broken is the Great One Counterpart, who, first of all, on place lets you Soul Charge 1. This is why it's basically 2 different nations. But more importantly, his glitter skill, if you are in fact the guy, and the guy is in your soul, you'd be like, hey, what's up? I'm going into soul too. And then you call your main Makani asshole, and while he's in soul, he has a different name for every copy. These 4 boys? No, that's 4 different names. There's Makani, that's Bakuni, that's Makani, and that's Bikini. I don't know. So effectively, between these 2, you're always going to be able to have Makani on the board as long as you're able to cycle somehow into one of these, or just use the Yon Ride to call them out soul or whatever. You have a consistency engine between these 3 cards. Then to make Makani more powerful, we are running 3 of this chick. Only 3 because we do want to have a lot of different names in this deck. And she basically says that you can Soul Charger, choose one of you guys, give it +2. Then if you have 7 more different names in soul, that card gets guard strict that your opponent can only guard with triggers. So you're like, Yoda, what up? Meow, put it in soul. Suddenly this is a 15k restander. Most times attacks they can only guard with grade 0s. That's pretty sick. Especially if you have 2 columns on the board like that on your chaos turn. By the way, yo, that one, yo, that one. You now have 4 attacks that you can only guard with grade 0s. Have fun. Then his new friend that I'm not too sold on yet, but this is a new deck, so we are experimenting with him, is the inciting corruption Agamanath. I probably just summoned the demon, not gonna lie. He has 2 skills. First of all, when plays if you're a chaos, counterblast 1, check your top 2. 1 goes to soul, 1 goes to hand. This is a mini chaos on the stick, I guess, and you can use that as early as grade 2, which is nice. Good filtering. Like I said, you do use a lot of counterblast in this deck, so just prioritize what you think is gonna be the best use of those counterblasts, is all I'm gonna say. What I included him with the Makani stuff though is that his second skill, when you play Makani, you can discard a card from your hand, call him out of soul, then you get Soul Charge 1, so you replace himself. You may get something cool off it, you never know. And more importantly, he gets boost. So you could have this call him and be like, haha, haha, on the VC end. I mean, it feels kind of weird because it's still on a turn or whatever. If he kept boost, it'd be more important because like once he's out of soul, he's just gonna do his thing once and you're just gonna look at him for a while and be like, alright, what do I do with you now? That said though, Field Presence is nice because his deck does like the buff things. And he always gonna guarantee you a +1 to soul no matter what. So, not a bad card. It just could be better, I guess. I don't know. Alright, I've shown this off a couple times. Let's talk about it. This order, the one who comes with Chaos. I know what you're gonna say. Why aren't you running 4 copies of this card? Are you stupid? No. I want to run different names. It's costly counterblast. Have I said anything about counterblast yet? Cool. So effectively, you can play this when you're Chaos. You can check your top 5. Choose any number of units from among them equal to the number of different named chaos in your soul, and shuffle your deck. Then, if you have not 8 or more cards in soul, choose up to 1 card from among them, call it to rearguard, and give one of your Makani guys a +10. A lot of words though. Alright, let's break it down. So, first of all, most important part is the soul search. This is why the starter matters. This is why you want to always have your whole right line soul. Because like you do it turn 1, you're like, oh no, 1. Turn 2, okay, cool. Turn 3, okay, 3. Then if you haven't had one of these ones as well, so you can look at your top 5 and get 4 cards out of it. So depending on what you have in there, you get more value is what I'm saying. Then you call a card asshole, insert thing about tutoring rear guards here. And if you have a Makani it's +10, insert your good restander here. Overall, solid card. Like I said, I'm mainly not playing for because number 1, it is an order, which is a non-unit which you can whip with a couple of different skills. And of course, there's a different name because we are running a different named order as well. However, the biggest thing behind this is the counterblast. We just need counterblast for things. There's no good counter charger for the deck. Then I mentioned another order. There it is. This one is going to be a free spell, so you can just play it whenever. And if your Vanguard's Chaos, choose one of your Vanguards, who's +10, whatever. Then you choose 3 normal units from your drop zone, shove them back at your soul, and put some on the deck. Couple good things about this. First of all, the +10 to Vanguard is always nice because base Chaos only buffs rear guards. This will give you a little bit more pressure if he is sitting all alone. However, the most important part is that it bomb decks itself from your deck out and with 2 recycle cards that you may discard for your ride line. If your opponent like somehow did kill Makani, that wasn't a soul because you wanted at the correct thing, there's no way you get back in. This does have its uses, just not as much as Chaos. And the final non-trigger perfect guard card we want to talk about is this chick. Check top 2 for free, Soul Charge 1. Yogi's mom deck. Basically, I need more names. There's no way to soul charge cards, and you can do this turn 1, so really good for early game. Then finally, we get to the part of the video that most people skip over, but this time not really, because like I said, you do need different names. We are running a lot of different names. Luckily, there's 4 different perfect guards. This is, I mean, you could run blue over it if you want, or you know, red to give Makani even more resands. It's literally like attacks, boom, boom. over trigger, attack, attack. 3 attacks off Makani, 2 that have the over trigger power. Just saying. But I just think Darkseid has a really good generic over trigger. Then we run a lot of different heals. We are running fronts and hero overdraws because deck out and the whole 5 attack deck thing. And lots of crits. Are you sensing a theme on them having different names yet? I think this one, she's the goth girl. Ha! Doesn't matter if I say dark now. So that's our look at Darkseid Highlander running not so many one-ofs in a one-of base deck to make it more consistent. Doesn't make sense? No, but we get there every time now. Kheios is just a super fun deck to play, even if it may not be as good as other decks of animation, like Chronojet or you know, Greydon. But we'll get back to the Dark Avatar in the near future, because I'm pretty proud of something that happened the day I just recorded this video, so expect to see on vid on that soon. You can see the wink in the hood. I mean, I really want to like this guy, since Kheios / the Infinite is kind of my thing, and he's, well, Kheios. Problem is, my nation has way too many good / fun decks, so I don't get to talk about it as much as I should. If you want me to, you guys know what to do, my dudes do that. Oh, and I haven't plugged Raise Energy or my TCG player yet, so that. Support me by buying things that way. Until next time, always embrace the infinite. See if it makes sense this time. We're actually talking about like infinite possibilities, literally the concept of the infinite and Kheios being like some combination of all things good and evil, dark and light, and that's like his name is Kheios, and like it makes sense now. It's actually Kheios. It's all about like Darkseid's Chaos of the Soul and